Hello everyone, welcome back. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. I'm the author of Money Boxing. This is about interviews and image. I was talking to a young fighter over the weekend about their chances for sponsorship. In mixed martial arts and at the mid to upper levels of boxing, there are sponsorship opportunities, and few fighters seem to know how to get them. So let's talk about it. Look, while you're training, while you're working your way up, this may be how you pay your bills. And since very few fighters know exactly what they're supposed to do, I thought it made sense to let you in. Now for you young fighters, here is what you're going to do. Here's what you need to do. You need to take some time in front of the mirror. At the end of a fight, I don't care if it's boxing or MMA. In fact, you should do it with both. At the end of a fight, if it's MMA, you're playing Rogan doing the interview, or Lampley or Kellerman if it's boxing. It doesn't matter. You go in where you're alone. You get in front of the mirror. You listen to the questions, and you visualize yourself answering them. Now here's what you don't want to see. Well, that was a very impressive victory. Talk to you about it. Or talk to us about it. Yeah, that was good. We had a good camp, and we put it together, and we put pressure on him. He's a tough fighter, good fight. Or we worked really hard on it, and things just didn't come together the way we want. We're going to go back to the drawing board, and we're going to do better next time, and thanks. Listen, this is garbage. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. And you have elite fighters who don't seem to be able to handle the fundamentals. First thing is, and I understand it's unrealistic to ask a fighter to do so, but after a fight, you smile. This is your public. These are your business people that are willing to pay money to watch you, to drive to see you, to do pay-per-events or live tickets, to see you, to invest in you, to sponsor you, to promote you, to interview you. You get in the mirror and you smile, and you get to where you can answer questions. You look in the camera. You're not staring off here. You're not staring off here. Oh, I'll see it all the time. No one works with these people. And it costs them massive amounts of money. Listen, if I have a product, say I have product X, and I sit down with 5 fighters and I say, you tell me why I should use you. A lot of them are going to say this: because I work hard, because I'm dedicated, because I care, and I'll do the best I can for you. That's the equivalent of going to a job interview and saying, I'll work hard and I'm a good worker. It doesn't impress. It doesn't impress. Not on the show business scale. Now, you young fighters, listen very carefully to what I'm saying. There's a movie. It's released a long time ago, probably when most of you were children. And it was about the inside hustling world of pool. It was called The Color of Money. And it had a former ace played by Paul Newman. And he's dealing with a young, hot prospect in pool, and they're dealing with sports investment and gambling and hustling, played by Tom Cruise, called The Color of Money. And he looks at him. Newman looks at this kid, Cruise, and says, pool excellence is not about excellent pool. Now, I don't care how great you are in the ring. I don't care how great you are in the cage. That's half of it. That's half of it. Many more people a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, were likely to tune in to an Arturo Gatti fight, who was a titleist, a good fighter, now he's in the Hall of Fame, blood and guts type fighter, than they were to see Floyd Mayweather or Lennox Lewis. He knew how to give them what they wanted to see. And only part of that entails what's inside the ring. So you get in front of a mirror. You practice the questions. You practice answering the questions. You don't want to spend 10 seconds saying, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If you believe that, look at the camera and say it. One of the the great moments for two fighters who were just normal guys, who became wildly successful in the sport of boxing. Hector Camacho, who was murdered not long ago, he had a speech impediment. He pronounced Golden Gloves as cutting gloves. He couldn't speak right. And when he opened his personality up to the camera, which only comes through experience if you're not used to it, then his career exploded and could match his talent. Same with Donald Curry, undisputed welterweight champion in boxing in the mid-1980s. He would give 1- and 2-word responses to questions. That's not going to get you a sponsorship deal. That's not going to, if they're sitting and they have to decide for a bigger money fight than you're used to, and they're saying, well, he's going to give a great interview, win or lose. People are going to remember this guy. That's what you need to do. You need to become that person. Now, I am not telling you to play the fool. There's a place for the fool if it's intentional. In boxing right now, we have Adrian Broner. And in the business sides, they're calling him the boner. And what they mean by that is a foul up, a mess up, because he's trying to impersonate the high-spending personality that you get from Floyd Mayweather, that you get from Donald Trump, without having the resources, and he's blowing money before he has enough money to blow, and he's trying to give that appearance. And it may work for him. It may work for him wildly, but he's making mistakes. And my job, I feel, is to navigate you through the waters. You are smiling at the camera. When you give interviews, look out the crowd for 1 second and wave in the beginning. You want to, this looks respectful. You want to do that, you want to do this, whatever you want to do, jump on the side of the cage and wave to everybody, excite the crowd, then turn back and realize that this is the moment that you earn your sponsorship deal. It's the interview, it's not the fight. It is not the fight. And so go ahead and take care of this. Practice it religiously. Get used to it. Get used to saying, man, we had this, we did you hear the excitement in the tone? So it's less about what you're saying, it's more about how you're saying it. How you're saying it. And realize, people are watching you. They're watching you, their children are watching you. They're having to decide whether or not they're going to get behind your career. If they are, they may follow you until you retire. They're going to remember, some of them are going to remember your fights better than you do. Don't botch this. All right. We're going to move on to the next segment in a minute. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. I'm Christian Shreve, and I'm here to tell you about why I think you should own my new book, Money Boxing, which is on sale now. Money Boxing has something for everyone, whether or not you know anything about boxing. You're about to receive a backstage pass into a world of glamour, corruption, and intrigue. And you're going to learn about the system, which is the only thing the casinos have had to fear in a long time. You can own Money Boxing by clicking on the link below now. I think you'll like it.